Hello, how are you? My name is Gemma and welcome to my Devon diary. Just over a year ago, my husband and I threw out everything we knew and took a massive gamble in moving our lives completely across the country. We left careers, jobs we loved, friends, family, our entire lives behind, bought a house that we hadn't even seen and started building what we hope to be our dream family life here in the beautiful West Country in England. A year on, we found our feet, got settled in, and we're looking forward to building our dream family life together. And I want to take you along for the journey, showing all the things I make, bake, create, and exploring all that Devon has to offer. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Gemma and I'm coming to you from my home in Devon, where I live with my husband, my son, my 2 cats, a dog, and a menagerie of hopes and dreams that may or may not come to fruition. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the podcast. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. And can I also just say very quickly at the top of the episode, a big thank you to everyone who left lovely supportive comments at the end of my last video. I didn't dwell on our family situation because it's not right to, but I do really appreciate all the love and support that came for that. And also it was lovely to hear about the ways in which you use making and creating to help you through tough times as well. It's definitely a craft that we can definitely all come together with in that sense. So yeah, thank you very, very much for that. It's been a bit of a wet and windy week here. There is another storm raging. It hasn't really affected us too much here. Some places nearby have lost power for a bit, but we've been absolutely fine. Our neighbours' fence panels came down in the last storm, and they're still down, so there's no more damage being done. So that's fine. I've tried to pull myself a little bit out of my funk this week. It's been tricky. We had the service for our family member at the start of the week. And so it hasn't been the easiest of weeks. Nevertheless, it's been a week of getting back to what this channel's about, to home comforts, to walks, to getting out and exploring Devon, to make some bakes and all that sort of thing. So I very much hope that you enjoy what I've got for you today. So there's not actually a kind of filmed walk this week. I spent my walk pushing a very tired Robin in a very uncooperative buggy up a very muddy path at National Trust Buckland Abbey in West Devon. The reason we were there is because they have an aim of planting 3,000 trees in January, and we're calling out for volunteers, members of the public, to come and help them plant these trees every Saturday in January. And we decided to go because we had the hope of, it's not a dedicated thing, you're volunteering to go and help them plant trees, but we thought how lovely that we could go and help plant some trees. And when we're planting them, we can think of the people we've lost. We've lost 3 close family members in the last 2 years, and obviously it's coming up to our daughter's birthday. She'd be 7 this year, which is just bonkers, and so we wanted to go and help plant the trees, think of the people that we loved as we were planting them. And my husband downloaded the What 3 Words app so we could actually locate the trees over time, which would be really good fun. Unfortunately, circumstances conspired against us. Our little one wasn't very well. We had to make lots of stops on the way up. We didn't get there till quite late. And then it was a really big walk up to the field, because they planted the fields nearest to the Abbey, and they were on the last push that was right down the other end. However, what a wonderful walk. We were so lucky with the weather, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So there's a couple of bits here for you to enjoy. So yeah, if you are new to my channel, I do predominantly knit and crochet. I was a yarn dyer, but my channel's kind of moved away from just yarn content to a bit more of family life and crafting and creating our family home here in Devon. We moved coming up, is it 2 years ago? I don't know. I don't even know how long we've been here now. I'm so confused by the whole thing. But anyway, we've been here a little while, and we're just, believe it or not, we're actually getting things organised and together. Not that you think that from what you can see behind me. So there we are. Right, so I've only got a few minutes because my friend Lee, who I was talking about in the last podcast with the neon blanket, I popped on there that she's rather unsportingly suggested she's going to come this weekend. She has turned up. It's wonderful to see her. And she and her friend are coming over for a roast dinner shortly. So I've spent all morning organising the house. I mean, it needed too much. I promise I have. Peeled all the veggies for the roast. Robin helped me bake a lemon drizzle cake, which was really lovely. So that's that. We've enjoyed that, and now I've got a few minutes to sit down and share with you what I've been making. Your fairy godmother, yeah, Mary Berry. We love Mary Berry, don't we? So last time I didn't talk to you about this. I'd actually, on the 11th of January, taught a top-down sweater workshop at Wool on the X. My cat has sat on this in the few minutes it's been on the table. Oh my goodness. And I use the flax pattern from Tin Can Knits to teach that course. And the idea is we spend the day going through all the tricky bits together. So they do the baby version and then they go home with the skills to tackle a grown-up version if they so desire. Quite a few people come with babies in mind and actually knit said jumper for impending babies, that makes it sound like doom, doesn't it? Impending doom. Honestly, I'm losing the plot. I spent 5 minutes before I sat down to do this and trying to unsheath the cucumber, and that's the state of my mind at the moment. So anyway, I did cast on the Saturday the 11th a flax in this beautiful red colour, which is my son's favourite colour. At least he said it was for 3 or 4 weeks straight, absolutely insistent it's his favourite colour. Went round asking everyone else what their favourite colours was. Mine's red, red's the best colour. Yeah, it's my favourite. Cast on the jumper, he took one look at it and went, I like green now, mummy. It's fine, I'll make him a green one next time I teach the course. So the yarn I'm using is Colour Lab Aran, which is 100% British wool from West Yorkshire Spinners. I need 3 balls for this one, so it cost me about £18, which I think is very, very reasonable for a sweater. I'm actually knitting the age 4 to 6 now because it's going to be for this autumn, and he's turning 4 at the end of this year. And he's a very long child anyway. He's got a very long body. We've actually had his height and weight done for his tummy issues, and we were told then he's a very tall child. Like, he's got a long body, which means more knitting, but there we are. But this shows you sort of where I've been. I would normally have knit more than this during the day while teaching the course, and this is 2 weeks worth of work. I say worth of work, obviously it's not, I've not touched it. I've just not wanted to. But I love the colour. I love working with the Colour Lab Aran. The last one I did in this, which was the first one I did in this yarn, was the kind of pumpkin-y, harvesty orange one that I did as a sample with the Tweedy Flex. This is just a smooth flat colour, and I really like it. So it's in quite a good position really, because if I can open it out, you can see how it's working. Excuse my son, he's desperate to come down. Hang on, let's try something. Yeah, so there you go, and you can see there, that's the circular yoke, and I'm almost ready to split for the, well, to do the straight bit and then split for the sleeves. It's a really lovely pattern. If you haven't done it before, I'd recommend it. It's a free pattern, and they've also got an app. I think I've talked about that briefly previously, so I won't dwell on it now. I'll do a deeper dive another time, where it keeps track of what you're doing for you, which I think is just great. So there's that. Then on Boxing Day, if you've seen my YouTube shorts, I've started trying to do shorts. I'm getting into this YouTubing malarkey. It's only been 6 years, nearly 7 years, but there we are. I cast on some socks for Boxing Day. This is in mystery yarn that I found in a charity shop. It's hand dyed. I couldn't tell you who by. I just thought it was nice and festive, and it'd been put with this in a bag with this beautiful green. And so I cast these on. I found it in a charity shop local to me, and I cast these on Boxing Day. And yeah, New Year's Eve, my plan was to spend the day working on them, but I didn't, and they looked too festive and felt too festive. But I did eventually finish the first sock a couple of days into the new year. And I cast on the second one because I did want it done. I wanted it done to show you all and to kickstart my makes for 2025. Plus, I knew by then I was taking 25 makes in, so I really kind of wanted to get one off the needles just so I could cast something else on, really, because I kind of don't want to go above 25. I know in my whip walk of shame, I said, I don't care how many whips I've got. I love the way I craft, and I do, but I also quite like an arbitrary goal, and I quite like a neat number. And so I don't really want to go over 25 works in progress for the year. I think I am. I might be above that at the moment. I couldn't tell you because I've cast on the flax and another pair of socks and another blanket, and I don't think I've cast anything off, but never mind. My aim is to go into February with no more than 25 again. My cat's decided to groom really loudly beside me down here, and the one with the jingle bell on is grooming behind there. I'm not going to kick them out of the room. I don't have time, so if you can hear ambient slurping, then I apologise. It won't happen next time. So yeah, so I've done the heel flap and gusset. Now this, I think, is probably DK weight yarn, but I've not been enjoying wearing my DK weight socks. I use a 3.5mm needle to knit them. And there's nothing wrong with the pattern, the numbers, but I just don't like the feel of the fabric on my feet. So I've actually, I'm a loose knitter historically anyway, I've come down to a 2.5mm needle, which makes for a much denser fabric, but I love the way they fit on my feet. I took a picture of the first one, which I'll put up here for you. The contrast yarn feels more like a 4-ply. So it's been a bit of an experiment. You can see the heel itself looks thinner than this jingle bell. I've got to take it off his collar. But it wears well. It's for me, so I don't think it really matters. All right, the next thing I cast on was my dad's birthday sock. It's his birthday on the 8th of February. As you know, if you've been here a while, I knit my dad outrageous colourful socks. It started as a joke and it's backfired, but there we are. He's very, very knitworthy. I'm not going to tell the sock story again, but if you want to hear it, then let me know. But I think there are people here who've heard it so many times they're just going to be bored. So I thought I'd go back to where it all began and knit a rainbow sock. This is, I picked this up in Knit Bits in Teignmouth. Stylecraft Show Your Pride, and the colour is designed by Stuart Hillard. It's beautiful. It's more muted than the one I did before. The one I did for him before was Rum Paradise by West Yorkshire Spinners, and this is kind of like a more moody rainbow. Whereas the other one is in your face bright. I really like this. My one grumble, you know what it's going to be, don't you? It's the random splodges of colour. I don't really expect that in a yarn, I'm going to be honest. And I find it really disappointing. It doesn't look good. It ruins the look of the yarn, I think. It is hard to do self-striping, but if I can buy beautiful, albeit with the price tag, hand-dyed self-striping yarn without any blemishes, I kind of expect a big company like this to be able to manage it. Do you know what I mean? With all their technology, there's less human error involved. That was really bold of me. That's a really bold, strong opinion, but I'm just disappointed. You can see these random splodges, and for me, that spoils the effect. Maybe I've been spoiled with my hand-dyed self-striping, I don't know, but I don't ever have this with West Yorkshire spinners. I think there's been one occasion where there's been colour splodges and I've contacted them, and this was when I was running the yarn shop, so it was up to me to contact them, whereas if it was a customer, my customer would have contacted me. Does that make sense? And they replaced the batch, and we've had no other issues. So there we are. That's my grumble, but I don't think my dad will mind. I have forewarned him. He knows obviously our circumstances, that I've not been in the mood to knit. I started these on Monday. I thought I really do need to do this. And I've just turned the heel and picked up for the gusset stitches. It is one of my intentions this year to record a step-by-step Knit Socks With Me series. I'm asked for it every so often. I need to rewrite my vanilla sock pattern because the file corrupted. It's just doomed, this pattern. And I thought that might be a nice way to do it. So maybe later in the spring I'll do that. But this is not the one. So there we go. So that's that. I'm not going to do... Now, with regards to the blankets, I'm not going to do a big blanket update because although that's all I've been working on, you only just saw them last week. And I am going to try and stick to the once a month. We'll dip in and show you what progress I've made. However, that being said, I have started a fourth blanket. The reason being is, I think I was talking to you last time about diverting some of the colours from the Advent ball into the various different blankets that I was working on because they fit better, and I've got enough minis and scraps. I'm very lucky to have enough minis and scraps that I can do that. So I started to put this middle orange into my blanket, and as you can see, I'm sure it's too red. It just didn't go with the neons. So I unwound it and wound off this ball, and I realised the colours in this particular ball all had those kind of reddish tones to them. So I started a hand-dyed one for Robin. I know, and he's so excited. I started it and I did the middle bit, and then I added the next colour when he'd gone to bed, and he came down in the morning, he went, "Mummy, it's growing up." And I was just like, he's so excited, and he's only got little legs. I know I've just said he's tall for his age, but his legs are only sort of that long still. And he sat down and spread it on his lap, and he went, "Mummy, it fits me." I was so chuffed. So I could call that done and he'd be happy for the moment, but I am going to carry on. And this is, Marcus told me, is a Mothy and the Squid yarn that's going in there at the moment. So that is my new blanket, which is bright and bubbly and cheerful, but it's all the kind of reddish tones. And that probably makes me sound mad because there's yellow and other colours in there, and there's yellows and pinks in the neon blanket, but it's a more blue toned pink. Just go with me. I've not got the brain to sort of explain it clearly and show you examples today, but this works. And with regards to the blankets as well, we actually had a really lovely time. I went through, because I've not been opening Marcus's Advent every day. I've been forgetting. I've just been getting through the day, stumbling into bed. And so it was the 24th the other day, or 23rd, I think I cheated. And I brought the box down, opened it out, and I said, "Right, Robin, help me figure out what to do with this yarn." So he got really excited opening all the parcels, and he actually organised what minis are going where. And I'll leave that with you now. Here's Robin. So what have we got next? Do you need Daddy to help you open it?
Blue.
It's blue.
Oh.
Right, which blanket?
Here.
You think that goes there, do you?
I kind of agree.
I think
or
so.
Does it go? No, I don't know. Do you think it goes to Daddy's?
I think Robin, you were right the first time.
Yeah, right the first time. Okay, so what's the next one? I haven't opened that one yet. It's a new one.
Pull it open. Doobie-doo.
What's the cards?
Can I write that letter?
You can read the letter. Daddy will read the letter to you. What does it say?
Mrs. Natassi.
Someone misses the caddy.
Fibre Punk Europe after the rain. Have you got it?
I'm got it.
You got it. Okay, son. Yeah, good job.
Right, where's that one going, Robin?
Where do you think this? Which blanket does this belong to?
Does it go with Daddy's or Mummy and Daddy's?
Mummy!
Goes with Mummy's. They're all going with Mummy's at the moment. To be honest, I think that would be quite a nice one for you with all those greens and things in it. But okay.
Maybe put
That
it
one.
in between so I can border. Oh, what's
Ooh.
in there? Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
It's a letter.
it's a letter.
I bought it in Norway, ?
He's got no idea what this yarn is, but it's from Norway. That's exciting.
Norway.
I think these are the.
Norway.
It's Norway yarn.
I think these are the bags that we've been sending to each other for like a gazillion years.
Oh, son, you put the wrong thing.
Right, which blanket?
Hooray, I did it.
Hooray! Which?
That's here.
Do you think?
You think that's the Daddy one? Daddy's not sure.
I'm not sure.
I'd be inclined to do
one.
that and that.
Okay.
I think.
That one.
Oh, let's see.
I think this might be an Auntie Lee one, maybe. Well, it's the guest blanket, but I think Auntie Lee's going to be the first person to use it, isn't she?
Oh.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hey,
Oh, look at that one.
Robin, which
Which
blanket does this one
blanket?
go to?
Okay, please.
All right,
You
put
think?
it with Auntie Lee's blanket then, if that's what you think.
If it's a my blanket.
Do you think?
Yeah.
And you think that one's for you? Yeah? You want that one on your blanket or Auntie Lee's blanket? Your blanket. Okay.
Oh, good job.
Oh, now whose blanket does that belong to? Robert.
Your blanket.
This one here.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Yeah, pop
Good
it on
job,
there
Robin.
then.
It's in here.
That's
It
exactly
does.
right.
Yeah,
Well done.
great.
Good boy.
Love it. Okay.
You know
So we've
your
got one
colours.
for Daddy so far. One for Auntie Lee. I'm still not sure about that one.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know where that one's going. Whose blanket?
Yours.
Which one? Which one of these four does that ball?
It goes in big.
Yeah,
Auntie
okay.
Lee! Go on then, put it in that one.
I think you're right.
Maybe that one. I
Okay.
have to open it
Yeah.
by myself.
By yourself.
Okay.
Can we read that letter?
Letter.
Yeah, don't forget
Can
yours.
we read that letter?
Okay. Mystery sock yarn. Sparkly though.
Whoa!
Whoa! But let's pick a blanket, son.
It goes on blue again.
Do you think?
Do you think we've got 3 from the Advent going to Robin's blanket, which you can see over there? We've got 5 to go into Daddy's blanket. He's not so sure about the orange, but I think it's a nice brown orange and would look really good, but we can always divert it. And then our blanket's definitely 1. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Yeah,
going in our
Thursday.
blanket. Possibly 8, but I'm just not sure. I think that one will go in there. And then we've got 2 to go into Lee's blanket. Now, there are some that don't go in any of the blankets. So this one is West Yorkshire Spinners Fairy Lights. And the way I'm doing these blankets, it just doesn't work. But it's beautiful yarn and I love it. And then you've got these ones. I think this one might go in a blanket. This one might go in Robin's blanket. There's no black in this one, is there? So you've got Pride. I think it's called Pride. I called it Standard Pride or Normal Pride or whatever. I can't remember, but I called it something completely inappropriate. It's a Pride colourway by Marcus. And then you've got Goth Pride. And as you can see, it's got black in it. And none of the blankets so far have black in. And they don't really fit anywhere. And here's Elphaba's knickers, which I'm so excited for. Again, it's got black in it. They don't really fit with any of the blankets. So what I've decided to do, and I've talked to Marcus and he approves, so it's all fine, is these are actually enough to knit socks for Robin. One of these would do a pair of socks for Robin. And so he's going to have fibre punk socks. I might add a contrast heel toe and cuff just to give a little bit more growing room and so that I can add and extend the foot if need be as he gets older, because I want him to have more than one season's wear out of them. But I'm just so excited for those. There are going to be mini socks on the horizon. So that's it, really. That's all I've got to share with you this week. As I said, Robin has been baking up a storm. We've been doing lots of baking. I find a lot of comfort in baking. I've also installed a new light. Say installed. It's double-sided sticky, and it's a battery light, and you just stick it to the underside of your cabinet. But it's going to make such a difference when I'm filming us baking, because the lights in the kitchen are quite yellow. 3 of the spotlights are blown and we haven't replaced them. And it's so dark these days that actually it's just a very yellow kitchen. I mean, it is painted yellow as well, but the light feels very yellow. So it's going to make such a difference. So I did that, and yeah. Oh, I also found some Thomas fabric in a beautiful little yarn and fabric shop in, I want to say Toddington. Oh gosh, I'll have to put the name of the shop down below. I had the most wonderful time with the woman who works there. She's worked for the owner for nearly 20 years, I think, and it's just lovely. So I'm going to make Robin something out of that Thomas fabric. I am going to, I think, last year I had a year with no resolutions and no goals. I completely freed myself from all expectations. But as we're getting through January, I am finding myself with definitive things that I actually really want to achieve this year. So I think I will share that with you next week. Do any of you have any goals? Are you setting resolutions? I'm kind of anti-resolution as a general thing, because I think it's a rotten way to start the year, going through all your perceived faults and flaws, and I need to do this, I need to do more of that, I need to do less of this, I need to be better. But all of it supports the idea that you are not good enough as you are, and I dislike that culture hugely. I think there's enough in the world where we are judged and berated and held against ridiculous standards without then going in with this beating yourself up resolutions. I know it doesn't have to be that way. I know that there are people who set resolutions and goals that are, affirmative and from a great place. But the majority, for me, the culture is definitely, it starts the year with you picking holes in yourself, or it does to me. However, I am kind of possibly leaning towards the idea of having some goals, things I'd like to achieve. So not to improve about myself, but things I would like to achieve within my making. So yeah, I'm going to share that with you next week, I think, once I've decided if I'm going to commit them to paper. We'll see. Anyway, I will let you go. My son is desperate to come down and play. I've had a text message, which means Lee might be on her way round, ready for her roast dinner. So I need to go and get changed because I'm still in my cleaning the house clothes. And I'll catch up with you next time for more of my Devon diary. I think this playlist is going to be Devon diaries now. I don't know. I'm not going to bore you with admin, put it that way. Thank you very much again for your time, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Auntie Lee's coming. Yeah, Auntie Lee. Is that exciting? Is that exciting?
This piece. Thank you. And this piece. And this piece. And that one. Okay. I'm just supervising at this point.
That's really good rubbing in.
Waiting.
Your cat is waiting.
Yeah,
That's really
waiting.
That's really good rubbing in, Robin. Well done. Lots of pinching. Pinchy fingers.
Pinch, 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 pinch.
Good boy. It's going to be the best crumble in Devon.